A systematic pranayama involves first deep exhalation followed by deep inhalation. Retain the breath for as long as possible and then exhale consciously. And during this process, make sure that your physical body is relaxed and your mind is focused on the breath. Because mind needs a point of focus, otherwise, it will be wandering everywhere. Go focus on the breath, and once the mind is attained single pointed focus, it will calm down automatically. Switch on camera, sit straight, and do this sincerely a few times. So, now with a quietened mind, one should do upasana or nididhyasanam after studying the Vedanta Shastras on the Brahma Tattvam, the supreme truth, absolute reality. This is the message of the Upanishads. The Upanishad mantra says, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Tat Jalaniti Shanta Upasita. Again and again, the message is Shanta Upasita. Quieten the mind. The quietened mind, Upasita, do Upasana, Nididhyasanam. This mantra appears in the middle of the Chandogya Upanishad after explaining what is Brahman. So the understanding is one should have studied the Vedanta Shastras, understood Brahman as what? When you do Nidhyasanam, Sarvam Khaluidam. Verily, everything around us, the only reality is Brahman. From this supreme reality arises the relatively real, seemingly real universe. Also, all the beings, including our own physical body, sense organs, mind, intellect, thoughts, emotions, everything is matter principle. which is only relatively real, arises from absolute reality called Brahman. So Brahman is called Tajjalam. So these relatively real entities emerge, are sustained for some time, and then they dissolve back in Brahman as fundamental Maya Tattvam, fundamental matter principle. Unless one understands that there is only one absolute reality, everything else is only seemingly real, my nature also is absolute reality, pure consciousness, pure existence, pure bliss, will be subject to constant variations up and down of the mind. We can never be established in absolute peace and happiness. So, to recognize this absolute principle, which is as Brahman, all pervading, vast, wide, infinite, Upanishad mantras point out the same Brahman, which is of the nature of absolute existence, absolute consciousness, absolute bliss. Satchidananda Swarupam is also your own true nature. And because of the presence of this consciousness principle within us, we are able to carry out all the actions, all our actions performed through organs of knowledge. The organs of action are possible only because of the presence of pure consciousness within us. Remember, once this consciousness escapes from this physical body, then this life ends and then you can't do anything further. So make sure that you go beyond the sense organs and sense objects and understand the fundamental cognitive faculty that is present within us. The Upanishad mantra says, Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yad Vachoha Vacham Savupranasya Pranaha Chakshushakshuhu Atimuchya Dhiraha Pretyasmallokadamrita Bhavanti. Just think for a minute. Person may be most powerful physically, richest, greatest in terms of physical achievements. If the consciousness principle is not there, then everything will have no value. So the real value of the individual is the consciousness principle, because of which all cognition happens. So the mantra says, Shrotrasya Shrotram. The real hearing principle behind the ear is this Atma Tattvam. Similarly, mind of the mind, Manaso Mano Yat Vachoha Vacham. If I'm speaking, one should be able to recognize that there is a consciousness principle within this physical body. So, pranasya pranaha, even the life force that is there in the physical body is because of the presence of consciousness. Then chakshushas chakshuhu, eye of the eye. So, what does all this mean? All this amounts to the fact that one should focus on the real principle behind the functioning, all the organs of action and organs of knowledge. That is pure consciousness principle. Once you are able to establish and focus on that, understand that is your true nature. Atimuchya dhiraha pretyasmallokad amrita bhavanti. So once you go beyond all this sense organs, sense perceptions, sense objects, and finally land in the fundamental faculty of cognition, that is pure consciousness, understand that is your true nature. Your mind will not be subjected to any variations with respect to what is happening around and which is impacting the mind through all the sense organs. And so you'll be always peaceful. Once you get this jnanam and undergo transformation, you will attain peace and happiness while living. After this physical body perishes, no more subject to the cycle of samsara. You'll beat the cycle of samsara, go beyond samsara chakram. So this knowledge of absolute reality bestows immortality and also absolute peace, bliss, and happiness while living. Let us understand now through the Second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, how Bhagavan is going to guide us systematically towards this knowledge. Very important chapter. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parambrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha निधये सर्वविद्यानां षजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतं वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः अपारकरुणा सिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम् ॐ. Let's turn on cameras and chant Yam Brahma loudly. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Dimyaistavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadair Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha देवाय तस्मै नमः ओम श्री कृष्णाय परमात्मने नमः. Now chant all the 6 shlokas. So understand the meaning while chanting. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatye Namaha, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Teshamevanukampartham अहमज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थः ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता ज्योतिषामपि तज्ज्योतिः तमसः परमुच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितं न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योग संसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानम् येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परं यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं तमाहुः पण्डितं बुधाः. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Now chant this 5 important shlokas for you to keep in mind always. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Mayametam Tarantite Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janah Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyukta Tanam Yogakshemam Mahamyaham Mattah Parataram Nanyate Kinchidasti Dhananjaya Mayi Sarvamidam Protam Sutre Maniganaiva Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantrarudhani Mayaya. So how to get out of this vicious circle? Understand and always remember this supreme truth. Prapancho yadi vidyeta nivarteta na samshayaha maya matramidam dvaitam अद्वैतं परमार्थतः ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता द्वितीयोऽध्यायः साङ्ख्ययोगसारांशः। ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमं व्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। Om. All of us, let's stand. Shloka number 2.11, the most important shloka which summarizes the entire Bhagavad Gita. Chant and then we can start the summary of this second chapter on this auspicious Ekadashi and Sthiravaram, Saturday Ekadashi, starting Sankhya Yoga summary. Excellent coincidence, Bhagavan's grace. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashocyananvashocastvam Prajnavadamscha bhashase Gatasumscha Nanushocanti panditaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hardam Swagatam, hearty welcome to the session, important session, the summary session of second chapter, which is called as Sankhya yogaha. So now what you can do is, along with the ebook that you have got, make a few notes, very important points, systematically, a few points, so that this will give you an overall bird's eye view of second chapter, the ebook, little more details, and then all the class lectures with detail, Padavibhaga for completely digesting the second chapter, very important chapter. First point, the shloka just now that we chanted, shloka number 2.11, is the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Panditaha na anushochanti is the summary of entire Bhagavad Gita, also summary of the second chapter. Further elaboration of this shloka is actually the second chapter, and further elaboration of second chapter is the remaining 16 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So you'll understand the importance of this shloka, shloka number 2.11. Also, if you cannot remember the entire shloka, two words you remember. What are they? Panditaha na anushochanti. Means what? A person having knowledge. Sheer knowledge is not knowledge of mathematics or physics or science or social, whatever. Knowledge of what? Absolute truth. Brahman and Atman. Na anushochanti, will never ever be subjected to sorrow, what? Unhappiness or depression. Yes or no? First step is we have to get out of any state of mind that takes us in a negative direction. Yes or no? Any disappointment, any unhappiness, any sorrow, what does it do? Any what failed expectations drive our mind negative direction. Once the mind enters negative direction, what happens? It further creates further negativity and you move further away from the right path. So never allow the mind to enter into a state of worry or depression. The final, the permanent solution is what? Atma Jnanam. Here Panditaha means, Panda means here Atma Jnani, one who knows Atman. So Panditaha, Atma Jnani, same as Brahma Jnani, will have no worry. So first thing is what we should aim for in life. Should we not aim for a life free from any sorrow? Always in a state of bliss. There is a difference between happiness and bliss. Sukham and Anandam are two different terms. Sukham means what? Kham means space. Write down. Sukham. Sukham means what? When the environment, all space means all the environment around is good, you feel happiness. It's called Sukham. It is dependent on surroundings, dependent upon your sense organs. Sometimes you taste something wonderful. I'm very happy. Sukham, right? That is Sukham. What is Anandam? Anandam is bliss, irrespective of anything surrounding us. So one should first live a life of Sukham and ultimately reach Anandam. So, what is the first point? Shloka number 2.11 is a summary of entire Bhagavad Gita and also second chapter. And expansion of this is second chapter, and expansion of second chapter is the entire Bhagavad. That's the importance of this shloka first. Second, the chapter's name is Sankhya yogaha. Sankhya yogaha, the vyutpatti. What is the definition of the word Sankhya? Many people don't understand this. Write down. Samyak akhyayate atma tattvam anena iti Sankhya. So, sa, sam, then akhya. Can you write somebody? Sam plus akhya is Sankhya. So, samyak akhyayate. Samyak means well, very nicely, very clearly. Akhyayate explains. Very good, Radhasagar. Samyak akhyayate. Wonderfully explains what? Atma tattvam anena. This Atma tattvam. What is this Atman? This Atman is not something that you can see. You cannot feel. You cannot what? Touch. You cannot smell. You cannot taste. But even then, there is a way to explain this Atman. What is it, Atman? It's your own true nature. Atman is not somewhere, anywhere. In what? Kailasam or Vaikuntham or Himalayas or somewhere. Where is his Atman? Any of you? Where is Atman? Atman is what? Nearer than the nearest. Actually, we say it is within us. You understand, it is your true nature. It is yourself, Atman. So, you need a particular set of slokas. So, Bhagavan, in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita itself, explains wonderfully this Atma Tattvam. So, Samyak Akhyayate Atma Tattvam Anena iti Sankhya. Now, we will go to the ebook later. I will give you a structured approach, how the topics are covered, how the development of the second chapter happens in a very systematic way. So, where did we leave the first chapter? The first chapter, Arjuna was what? Completely immersed in grief. What is that? Shoka. So, how does it happen? From raga, because of attachment, he thought that he is going to lose all his people close to him. So, immersed in sorrow, shoka, which has been what? Compounded by moha. Means what? Ignorance, a delusion. And so, because of the delusion, he doesn't even want to seek any advice. You please understand, never allow your mind to go to a state where you don't even want to seek out any advice. He didn't. Did he seek any advice from Krishna? Did Krishna speak any word? When Arjuna was lamenting through the first chapter, beginning of second chapter, Bhagavan didn't speak anything. So because of that, he took an independent decision that the only solution for the problem that he is facing is withdrawing from the war. Similarly, what happens? Many times we land up in a wrong decision that the only solution is no need to carry out all this nitya karma, all these ordained duties, no need to study Bhagavad Gita. We come to the conclusion. So, how wrong it is being pointed out clearly. So, the first thing is don't allow the mind to reach a state of depression. Nip it in the bud. When you see that you're losing control of the situation and not able to take the right decision and your mind is not free, you feel that you're completely bound and having a lot of challenges, make sure that you seek advice. Important point. Second, if you are a jnani or a mahan will never give advice or solution unless sought for. That means what? Just because I know the solution, I will not go around the town and say, all of you study what? Vedanta. All of you study Bhagavad Gita. No, we will not go on doing that. Only for a person who is seeking the right advice in the right way, this what solution, the absolute knowledge will be given. So it's important, whenever you have a solution, whenever you got the knowledge, don't need to force it upon others unless they seek your advice. Write down, na prishtah kasyachit bruyat nacha anyayena cha prishtataha janannapi cha medhavi jadaval lokamachare. So doesn't matter if people think you don't know anything, you don't worry. No, you smile internally and keep quiet unless your approach. That means what? We have to approach. So two ways. One, person with problem should approach a Mahan for the solution. A Mahan will give the solution only when approached and addressed properly and not simply say, please say something. You have to clearly explain your problem and a Jnani will give you the right solution. So second important point is that. Then, now any solution that you can give for any problem are at three different levels. Okay. First level solution is what is called as common sense knowledge, right? Many of us go through a lot of experience in life. So people who are elderly, why do we respect elderly people? Because they have gone through all the experiences that youngsters have gone through, yes or no? Do you know one thing? People who are now older, no, elder, were young at some point in time earlier, yes or no? So they would have gone through all the experiences. So from their experience, they would have understood what is right, what is wrong. And so a common sense approach, common sense solution is the first level of addressing any problem. So that is like what I say, allopathic medicine, instant solution. So what happens? You take some tablet for some time, you get relief, after that it will come again. That is first level. Second level, trying to find a solution to a problem is by knowledge of Dharma Shastras. See, normally any problem that occurs in our life is because of something that we have done which is not followed Dharma either in this life or previous life. So by applying proper Dharma Shastras, one can find a solution by giving the right message. It is like what? Doing karma, upasana, doing all the actions to give temporary relief, but more long lasting than common sense solution. That is like what? Ayurvedic medicine. It is slightly difficult, yes or no? Common sense knowledge is easy, but following dharma is more difficult. So, but it will give you benefit for a significantly longer period of time compared to common sense solution. But there is one solution that is absolute, that is permanent, which makes sure that the problem will never recur again. One is to solve the problem temporarily. Another is how to find a permanent solution. The third level permanent solution is knowledge of the truth, knowledge of the reality. How does the knowledge of reality or jnanam make it a permanent solution? Anybody? Quickly? See, why jnanam is a permanent solution? Because it makes you understand that the problem is no longer a problem. See, what is happening? For us, anything is problem or troubling because our ignorance, we are giving importance to it and struggling to solve that, struggling to set it right. Whereas when you get jnanam, what happens? You detach yourself from the problem and become a witness. You will continue to do whatever is required, try and solve. If it doesn't get solved, you will not be bothered because the problem is no longer a problem. How can a problem vanish? Problem can vanish if some solution comes, or problem can also vanish when what? You understand it is no longer a problem. The understanding is not only temporary, it's a permanent understanding. That's why we keep on saying Maya Matram Idam Dvaitam Advaitam Paramarthataha. Everything that happens around us only seemingly real, relatively real, not absolutely real. So that when that knowledge is completely entrenched in the mind, it's a permanent solution for all problems. And the beauty is, it's a one solution and common solution for everybody. Whereas karma, upasana, or other common sense knowledge can differ, is applicable differently for different people in different places at different times, depending on what the person is. Whereas Atmajnanam, true nature of individual, tell me, the true nature of individual, whether the person is a Japanese, Italian, American, German, Indian, what, Russian, can it be different? True nature of an individual is the same everywhere. So that is a permanent solution to everybody always. That's why my Swami used to say, unlike Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and all, Jnana Kanda, message of Upanishads, message of Gita can be taught on one platform to everybody together because it's applicable to everybody at all points in time without any distinction, irrespective of nationality, gender, religion, whatever it is. So that's a very important point. So three levels of solving a problem. So Bhagavan initially doesn't speak, as I told you. Only after Arjuna surrenders, Bhagavan starts the message. And so first he tries what? The ultimate solution. It is the permanent solution, Atmajnanam, making Arjuna realize that he is of nature of pure consciousness, pure existence, pure bliss, Satchidananda Sarupam. And so all you need to do is in the relative world. Once I am established in reality, what I need to do? Manage the matter principle. Always be established in Jnanam and manage the matter principle. So Bhagavan tried. First, the Atmajnanam approach didn't take, no, he didn't get into Arjuna's mind. And so then he said, he applied other principles, common knowledge, Dharma Shastram, all that he explained. And still, Arjuna was not ready to do his duty, fight the war. So then Bhagavan then realized that without a basic understanding of the preparatory steps, now you understand how the development of the second chapter is. Without proper preparation of the mind through karma and karma yoga, this Atma Jnanam will not register in one's mind. So Bhagavan, after though he explained the Atma Jnanam and also Samanya Dharmam and Vishesha Dharmam through Dharma Shastras, he said, I will now explain to you Karma Yoga, which forms the fundamental principle to understand Atma Tattvam. So Bhagavan gives a wonderful summary of Karma Yoga. Please understand, in the second chapter, you get all the pearls and diamonds of the entire essence of the Upanishads and Vedas. So not only Atma Jnanam is being told, the importance of Karma and Karma Yoga and the benefits of Karma Yoga are explained. And then Bhagavan, before conclusion, Arjuna says, ask the question, is there anybody in the world who has attained this absolute bliss, this jnanam? What kind of person will that person be? How will the person behave? I want an example. Can you tell me the characteristics? It means what? Arjuna has at least opened up his mind. So there is a way, there is a solution to attain permanent bliss. And after that, let's see whether it is his duty or not. He wants to get an example. So Bhagavan says, one who follows proper karma, karma yoga, upasana, and gets jnanam after studying Vedanta Shastras, understanding Atma Tattvam, will be established in absolute peace and happiness. Here, this jnani is called as what? Thita prajna. So Bhagavan concludes the second chapter with Thita prajna lakshanam, the qualities of a jnani, so that it inspires us to follow the systematic process, attain this what? State of Thita prajna, which is, what is fundamental? No. substratum for being Prajna, Atma Jnanam or Brahma Jnanam. So, with this mind, now let's go through the ebook and the key shlokas of the second chapter. Initially, I thought I'll try and finish it off in this one session. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't get completed in one session, we'll try to complete in the next session because it's a very large chapter and so many topics to be covered. Let us go through systematically. So, first is, though we had a brief overview of what is the state of our present lives, a clear understanding of the vicious cycle of samsara. We don't even think about it because you're so busy with life continuously. We don't think that end of this life is not the end of the solution for everything. End of this life is the beginning of next life. So what we should do? Use this life effectively to put an end to this cycle of samsara. So understand what is this samsara chakram. What is the root cause of this samsara? Write down. Avidya or Ajnanam is the root cause of samsara. So the Vedantic triad, write down avidya, kama, karma. Because of avidya or ignorance, there is a desire, and we think by doing some things, achieving some things, achieving possession, we'll be happy, be fulfilled. We go on developing desires, and this desire drives us to do karma or action. This avidya, kama, karma triplet is the fundamental principle for us to be continuously subject to samsara chakram. So what is solution? The problem is avidya. Solution has to be vidya or knowledge. So solution to get rid of the samsara chakram is jnanam or destruction of avidya. And this avidya can be destroyed by absolute knowledge or atma jnanam. But before that, because many times we try and understand the deep truths of Gita and Upanishads, we just get a good understanding, but we are not able to be established in that. Yes or no? Yes, it looks very, very interesting, very nice when we understand through the Gita class. After that, when it comes to practically applying it, we are not able to apply it 100%. And so it's important for us to make sure that we carry out our karma, karma yoga, also follow upasana systematically. So the mind is completely purified. A completely purified mind with this jnanam of Atma Tattvam will be established in this permanent jnanam or absolute bliss. So understanding karma, karma yoga, and Chitta Prajna Lakshanam. Now, finally, as I told you, what is the nature of a Chitta Prajna is being explained in this chapter. Now, what is the logical breakup of these shlokas? The first 10 shlokas represent the first point I explained earlier. Unless we have a deep down desire to solve the problem, and this deep down desire to solve the problem will make us approach the right person for the right solution. We are only what? We are only hypocritical about our problem. See what is happening? We got a problem. We neither want to approach somebody for a solution, nor do we have the solution. For many problems, we don't have a solution. Suppose there's a serious disease within your physical body. Can you solve the problem yourself without even diagnosing what is the problem? So you have to go to a doctor. Many people think that, no, I will try to manage myself. Is it possible? So initially, maybe for a day or two, you try. If it doesn't work, better go to a doctor for the right solution, like a what? Physical problem. Similar to that, this problem is not a physical problem, not a problem of the body. It's a problem in the mind. It's binding. Very difficult, very subtle, right? Physical problems are easier to discover. That is why doctors use so many different types of instruments to discover the problem. How to discover what is the problem in the mind? You have to go to a person who is established in absolute peace and happiness, and sit down and spend significant period of time discussing the problem, arriving at the solution. So important to surrender to a guru. A guru here is a person established in Jnanam, Brahmajnani, Atmajnani. In this case, Arjuna is very lucky. Why? At the stage he reached where? Despondency, depression, he had Lord Krishna next to him. Do you have that opportunity? Or do we get the opportunity? Very rare, right? So for us, where is the solution? Bhagavan is present as Bhagavad Gita. So make sure that you constantly connect to Bhagavad Gita for solution systematically. So first is Arjuna surrendering to Krishna. It's called Arjuna Sharanagatihi. So now let's look at the first set of slokas. Arjuna Sharanagatihi. Now, chant sloka number 1, chapter number 2. Sanjaya uvacha tam tatha kripaya vishtam ashtrupurnakulekshanam vishidantamidam vakyam vacha madhusudanaha. So now, what has happened? Arjuna has thrown away his bow and arrow and literally weeping. Ashrupurna kulekshanam. So, what we say when children are weeping? No, we say, why are you weeping? And when elders are weeping, what do we say? Why are you weeping like a child? Here, Arjuna, the greatest warrior, the most powerful person, also very good knowledge of Shastra, Dharma Shastra Jnani, he's got all the Shastra Jnana. That person has been put in a situation where he is weeping profusely. Ashrupurna Akula Ikshanam. That means what? The wonderfully explained. The ears are filled with tears. So, do we generate tears or tears come from within? Huh? Can we generate tears? Some people do all this. That is different. But really, here Arjuna is totally in such a state of worry. He is. That's why Ashrupurna Akula Ikshanam. So, full of tears. So, to this person, so when a person is totally immersed in sorrow and weeping, can you give Atma Jnanam? Hey, why are you weeping? There is no problem at all. Problem is no longer a problem, right? Can you say that? What? The person will weep further. You don't know anything. You go. You should be in my situation to understand. You are not connected to the problem, so you can say anything. Yes or no? What will they say? You come this side. So any advice you should be careful because the person who's seeing the advice should trust you. They don't trust you. What they will say? Anyway, you're talking from the other side. You come to this side. Put yourself in my shoes, see what is happening. Then only you will know what is the problem. Easy to give advice. Paropadeshe Pandityam. So, Bhagavan did not immediately give Atmajnanam message to Arjuna. So, you should make him talk, right? So, first, what does Bhagavan do? He teases Arjuna, person who has got some amount of prestige and some self-esteem. If you tickle them and say something derogatory, then they may wake up. So Bhagavan tried because he can do that. Why? Bhagavan is a friend. Please understand. First and foremost, Bhagavan is a close friend, associate of Arjuna. So in shloka number 2, 3, and 2 and 3, he actually chides. That means what? Tickles Arjuna. He says, maybe you have started remembering your Ajnata Vasam. Ajnata Vasam, what happened? When they were supposed to be incognito, what was Arjuna's role? Arjuna was Brihannala, dance teacher in a form of a lady. So, answer. So he says, just like that, have you got that kind of thought process in the mind? So, Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupasthitam Anarya Justam Asvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna Klaibyamma Smagama Partha Naitatu Vipodite Shudram Hriday Daurbalyam Tekto Tishtha. Get up. Give up this. What? Faint heartedness. Don't worry. Supposed to do your duty. Get up and fight. So that now what? Arjuna was full of tears. At least speak something. So Shlokas 4 to 10, Arjuna first explains his problem and then towards the end he says what? I am not able to find a solution to my problem. So it's a logical step. So in Shlokas 4 and 5, Arjuna is saying that, how can I kill Bhishma and Drona? You are not going to kill. I am supposed to kill. So in this war, how can I kill Bhishma, Drona? They are what? So much revered by me. One is a Pitamaha, my own grandfather. Another is my Guru. Will anybody even think of killing a grandfather or Guru? So better that we do not engage in this war. Let them live happily. I don't want to kill them. Let me leave this battlefield and run away. If I run away from the battlefield, what will happen? Will anybody give him another kingdom? Please come, Arjuna. You are run away from the battlefield. Here is you are the prince of this particular place. Will they give king? They will not give, right? So what he says? I better go to the forest and beg for food. So he says, Punjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan. So better for me to go and beg and eat rather than what? Fight this war. Now you see what are the two problems here. One, he did not follow what he's supposed to do. His dharma, his dharma was to fight the war, which he didn't do. Two, as a grihastha, you are not supposed to beg for food. Only a sannyasi can beg for food. So, two wrongs. As I told you, when the mind is in moham, you even forget the fundamental dharma shastram that you learn. So, Arjuna forgets this key principle of dharma shastra. And so he says, that's better. But he is not fully convinced also. You see, if he had been fully convinced, what would have done? He would have left the chariot. You be here. I'll go. And then he would have run away. He didn't do that. Still, he has got the doubt 50-50. And so he slowly changes the tenor of his statement to Krishna. He says, I am not sure who will win this war. So, which of the two possibilities are there? One, whether we will conquer them, we will win over them, or they will win over us. So, write down, underline the word Katarat Nachaitad Vidma Kataranno Gariyaha. Katarat means which one of these two, one among the two is possible. One, either they will have to win over us or we'll have to win. I'm not sure who is going to win. And then second is that I'm not sure whether we should kill these Kauravas and enjoy all this happiness. I can enjoy the happiness only by killing them. Whether I should do that. So I'm not sure whether I should fight the war or I should run away. So what are the two things? One, I'm not sure whether they are going to win or we are going to win. And second, I'm still not clear. So though he said we should leave, I should leave and run away, I'm still not clear whether I should fight them or I should withdraw from the battlefield. So shloka number 7, 8, 9 and 10. 7 and 8 actually, 9 and 10 are Sanjay Vacha. Clearly, Arjuna is expressing that I am overcome with deep grief. Karpanya dosho apahata swabhavaha. I am overpowered with such a deep sorrow. I am in a very pitiable state. And so I am not able to understand what is the right thing to do. Dharma sammudha chetaha. So Arjuna is now very clear. So instead of saying, see what did he do? He took a decision independently out of moha that I'll run away. From there, he has come down a bit and he's saying that my mind is confused. I am not able to understand what is the right thing to do. At the same time, I'm not sure what is the right result. See, I neither know what is the right thing to do, means what, to fight or run away. I am not sure of what the result is going to be, whether we will win or they will win. So I'm totally confused from a dharmic standpoint as to what to do. Helpless. My mind is not working. All the knowledge of dharma that I've studied, dharma shastra, is no longer working. And so I am not able to take the right decision. So I am surrendering to you. Very important statement. Tvam prachami. I am asking you. Yat syat nishchitam shreyaha me. So please advise me what is the right thing to do. Very important point. How many of us gone to some jnani and said that my mind is confused? I need the right direction. Please advise me what is the right thing to do. So here he is very lucky So Sakshat Krishna Paramatma, Bhagavan, Jagat Guru, friend, philosopher, guide is available next to him. So he was able to approach him. Please advise me. And here he is showing his real intent, not just asking, just verbally. Says, Aham te shishyaha shadhimam. Aham te shishyaha. I am now your disciple. So the Arjuna, who was the warrior, the hero, submits himself as a humble disciple to Bhagavan, who was still now a charioteer, but now becomes Jagat Guru. So is Bhagavan is internally very, very happy that the real what? Intent, the real goal of his avataram was not doing all the other things, but to give this ultimate wonderful message of Bhagavad Gita. So, and he cannot teach. He cannot teach unless somebody comes and asks him to teach. How many people went to Lord Krishna to learn something? In this case, only one Arjuna, later Uddhava, right? So when even great Mahan, Krishna Paramatma is around, many people didn't approach. At least one disciple came. Bhagavan is happy. What? A great disciple like Arjuna. So Arjuna turns from a king to a disciple. Bhagavan turns from being a charioteer to a Jagat Guru. And so, Prapannam Tvam, I'm totally surrendering to you. Please guide me. So, finally, he still says one word, I am surrendering to you, but I believe that nothing can remove this sorrow from me. Not even the three what words? Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Sargaloka, all the Adhipati, the lordship of all the three lokas, any amount of wealth, nothing is going to remove the sorrow from my mind. But anyway, please give me the right advice as to what to do. That means what? Sometimes the mind is totally immersed in sorrow. You believe that there is no solution. At that time, if you have done proper punyam, good punyam, you'll have advice of the right people, the right time. So, concluding this first section, Arjuna Sharanagatihi, Sanjaya summarizes what is happening. So, finally, he says this word, what? Arjuna tells Krishna, I will not fight. Nayotsye iti, right, underline. I will not fight. After doing surrender also, he says, my opinion is I will not fight. And he becomes silent. So he surrendered to Bhagavan. He said, I'm not able to understand what to do. Please advise me. I'm surrendering to you. But from my standpoint, I am not going to fight. So if anywhere people ask a question, did Arjuna say, I will not fight? Where is that sloka? Sloka number 2.9. Nayotsya iti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha. Tushnim means became silent. So he's now waiting for advice. And so when Arjuna becomes silent, what should happen? Bhagavan now has to wake him up and make him do his duty. Sloka number 10 is very important. Let's chant Sloka 10 together. Sanjaya uvacha tamuvacha hrishikeshaha प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः. So, to that Arjuna, who was grief-stricken, crying in despondency, Bhagavan was what? As if smiling, prahasanniva. To that Arjuna, Bhagavan is internally what? Happy and as if smiling. He speaks the following words. So what is the message here? When you go to a guru or some Mahan to seek a solution and say, I'm in deep problem, I'm so much of sorrow, please give me solution. The guru also says, I also have got so much of problem. I also got so many issues to solve. So somebody has to help me. The guru also is weeping with the shishya. Both of them will be only wailing. That means what? The teacher or the guru or the mahan or the jnani should be free from all the sorrows, should have worked through systematically with his or her guru the process of overcoming all the bondage, all the problems and established in what? Brahmajnanam, Atmajnanam, pure bliss. That is why Paramananda Swarupam, Govindam Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Why do you say Govindam Paramanandam? That means what? Ananda Swarupam. That Anandam you will be able to be established only by Jnanam. Please understand. Why you can be established in Anandam only by Jnanam? Brahmajnanam is Brahman and Brahman is the nature of Anandam. So only a Brahmajnani will be able to be established in permanent Anandam. Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. So Anandam and Brahman are one and the same. So a Brahmajnani is Brahman, Brahmavit, Brahmaiva Bhavati. And so only by Jnanam one can attain the state of permanent Anandam, Paramananda Swarupam. So, what is the key point? When you go to a teacher for solution, teacher also should not be saying, I also got I'm also trying to find the solution. So let's see. Can we both go to somebody? Then what is the point, right? So Bhagavan is now as if waiting for this moment for Arjuna to surrender totally, starts this what? Summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita in these 15 shlokas, summary of the Upanishads, the key message of the Veda Shastram, which is what? The goal of one's life to understand your own true nature. So we say, if you can understand yourself correctly as to who I am, then nothing in the world can shake you. Please understand. We try to understand so many things in the world, but never ever we are able to be established in peace or satisfaction. So our Shastras point out again and again, orient yourself to understand your own true nature. Once you understand your true nature, and what is your true nature? Shastras say, Tattvamasi, you are the absolute truth. Essentially, you are that Param Brahma Tattvam, Atma Tattvam, Satchidananda Swarupam. And so, then what about all this happening? Physical body, sense organ, mind, constantly so many thoughts, emotions, ups and downs. What you should learn that I am that pure consciousness, existence, bliss, absolute, Satchidananda. I will treat everything as a witness. Sakshi Cheta Kevalo Nirgunasya. That is summary of Atma Tattvam. So this next slokas, we'll chant sloka number 11 and sloka number 25, beginning and the end of this Upadesham of Atma Tattvam. And in between, I will highlight all the key points. All of us, let's stand sloka number 11 and sloka number 25. So what is the homework? Homework is study the remaining slokas, be prepared for the detailed exposition of Atma Tattvam. Looks like we're not doing it in one class, right? Should we rush and finish it off? Because most important chapter we have to digest properly. We will chant sloka number 11 and sloka number 25. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashocyananvashocastvam Prajnabadamscha bhashase Gatasunagatasumscha Nanushocanti panditaha. Sloka number 25. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Amvyaktoyamachintyoyam Avikaryoyamuchyate Tasmadevam viditvainam Nanushochitumarhasi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Underline two key words even within this 15 shlokas. In 211, Nanushocanti Panditaha. Keyword Nanushocanti. Sloka number 25. That's why I made you chant 11 and 25. Because once you get deviated so many slokas, you will not know the wonderful structure. 25 also what? Nanushochitu marhasi. So in the beginning and the end of any particular package message is the same. And that is central theme of the message. Panditaha na anushochanti, na anushochitum arhasi. So it means what? One who establishes in this absolute truth will never ever have any worries for anything, either for anything that is being created. Anything that is created means born, anything that ends here is death, anything that happens in between creation and destruction, what all is happening, Atmajnani will not be worried, will do his or her duty systematically, but never get impacted by what is happening. Very, very important. So for a jnani, there is no reason to worry. Sloka number 25. Quickly, I'll point out. If you're not downloaded second chapter ebook, please do. I'll approve all the ebooks now itself. Go to Appendix 4, page number 12 and 13, and have a brief overview of these 10 points. We call this 10 commandments through which Bhagavan has explained the Atma Tattvam. We'll take up for furthermore. You cannot do elaboration. It's all been done in second chapter. You can go and look at the lectures, but we'll summarize quickly. What is this Atman? You keep on saying, sir, what is Atman, Atman, Atman? I'm not able to see it. I'm not able to feel it. I'm not able to hear it. What is this Atman? And what is its true nature? And how to understand the Atman? See, Atman or the true nature of the individual has been understood as a contrast to what is not Atman. Please understand. The right way of understanding Atman is to compare and contrast Anatma. See how Anatma or the matter principle has got a set of characteristics which are very different, distinctly different from the Atma Tattvam or the absolute truth. It is called Vivekam, Vichara Margam. That's why Viveka Chudamani gave an introduction, Shankara Jayanti. This Vivekam, Atma, Anatma Vivekam. So that we move towards Atma Jnanam. We'll do an analysis of this in the next session in about 12 hours from now. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tatsate. Krishna 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 Shubhamastu Samasta San Mangalani. Hari Om Narayana. Meet in about 12 hours. Narayana.